Hello and welcome back to my workbench. Today is Saturday, December 30th, or New Year's Eve. I wanted to give you a quick overview of what's been going on, what's happening, what's planned, and what changes are going to happen. So, for the past couple weeks, first of all, I've been sick, so I haven't been even attempting to make videos, and finally over that, 2 rounds of 2 different sicknesses, flu and other goodies, awesome, wonderful. Yeah, I'm over it already. Um, Mini plague passed around work by everyone, just a really bad cold, but hey. But that's over with, done with. Still sound a little stuffy, but it's winter. That's going to happen. Um, Here in Northeast Ohio, it is currently a balmy, what is it? 12 degrees? Yeah, 12 degrees right now. This weekend, supposed to go down to below 0. So that's also another reason I've kind of not been working in the workshop because it's a little chilly, but time to say done with it and just get on with it. So, projects. All right. First one is this. This is my oscilloscope, a Tektronix 2232 100 megahertz digital storage oscilloscope, as it says right there. It has a problem. As you can see, I have turned it on, and you can probably just barely see that everything is just a mess. The focus circuit has went out on this. Like all oscilloscopes, it is electrostatic deflection, up and down, left, right for the beam, but it's also electrostatic focus. The electrostatic focus in these scopes is derived by a chain of resistors with a really high voltage on one end and then a series of resistors to divide the voltage down, finally ending at the focus control, which also has a resistor across it to provide the variable focus voltage. Now, these resistors take a pretty big hit. Standard carbon comp resistors, when you buy them, they don't have a voltage rating on them like capacitors. In general, standard carbon comp resistors, about 450, 475 volts before weird things start to happen. They don't immediately burst into flames or anything like that, but they start behaving weirdly. They start doing strange things. So what is normally done is when there's a high voltage that needs to be across the resistor, you use multiple resistors in series, and then that divides the voltage down, and it spreads the load a bit more evenly. Now, standard use from the 30s through it's even valid today, but there are high voltage resistors out there specifically meant for high voltage DC circuits, and I have looked, and once I actually get this apart and see which resistors are in it, then we will see what needs to be done. Because depending on the size of the resistors, I'm either going to just use new metal film resistors, which are higher voltage and can take more transients, or if there is room, because I haven't seen the circuit board, so I don't know exactly yet. If there is room, I'm going to get some new higher voltage resistors. They have specific high voltage resistors, which in, say, half watt size, these are probably quarter watt, but just saying. But standard half watt size, you get up to 3,500 volts voltage rating on the resistors. So that's what I'm going to do to get this fixed. I do have the relevant parts of the manual. Yes, the auto iris is going nuts because I'm putting a piece of white paper up against it. But yes, the relevant 40 some odd pages of the 300 plus page manual. So, use the good old multimeter, Fluke 27 FM, to check my resistors. Use the instructions to get things apart. And then, once this is fixed, I'm going to start working on other projects. There are some things that are held up because of this at the moment. And it's been annoying the crap out of me as well. So, after I get this working, probably the next thing I'm going to work on is doing a proper alignment on my Zenith radio, 10S155 from 1937. You've seen this this radio featured several times in different videos. It's currently up in the living room. It works, but it's never been aligned. Ever. On either AM or shortwave. And I didn't align it before because although I had one signal generator, it only went up to 600 kilohertz, which is great for aligning FM, but it can't do it FM. Great for aligning AM, but it can't align anything else. So now that I've got these signal generators, I can do a proper alignment of everything, including the shortwave. So that is what will be the next project. And then after that, I've got a couple other things. Some broadcast video gear that is going to be worked on here. TV or two. I do have a Zenith 19-inch from the 60s black and white set that I would like to get working. A few other things, a couple vintage computers that might find their way down here to get a little bit of work on. Not sure about that yet, but we'll see. So that's that for projects. So I'm going to pause and then show you the other changes that are going to happen specifically through the video gear that's being used to record this. So of course the furnace just kicks on, but then again, it's winter in Northeast Ohio, so we'll deal with it. First upgrade has actually already been implemented, and that is a new microphone for me to use. And what I had been using was this. It's an Electro-Voice dynamic. Can't call it really a lapel microphone, but it could be a lapel. A dynamic portable microphone. Basically what this is a standard Electro-Voice 635A dynamic omnidirectional microphone, just shortened. It would normally be about this long and just have a tapered body that an XLR connector plugs into. So basically it's the same element. So it did work really good. It was really low output. This was kind of a pain to attach to my shirt because there's normally a special little chain that this hangs off of. Didn't have it, so this is gone. And I'm going to take off the new one and probably make a lot of noise. But, so I got a new microphone courtesy of a friend, and that's not going to work to set that down. So we're just going to set this down on the Blue. So this is, and that's going to be another thing that's going to be fixed, but hey. So this is the new microphone, and I'm kind of yelling into it over the top because I'm holding it. And it's a Sony ECM 66B, which is an electric condenser microphone, much smaller, much more sensitive, and really made to work with the equipment that I've got, because it's either can run on battery or phantom power. Well, the deck I have supplies phantom power, so it just plugs into it and works. So that is going to be this is the other upgrade, one upgrade that's already in place. Pardon me. Noise. And so we're going to then show another upgrade. Cleaning off the bench is going to be another upgrade. So currently you are looking at me through a Sony DXC 950 camera. It's a nice small 3CCD camera meant for use on microscopes, machine vision systems, and so forth. It is one of these. So you have all your menu selections, connectors for hooking it up. It is running through the RGB connector, which is not outputting RGB. It is set to do component video. Let's see if I can get that focused just a little bit better. There we go. So component video comes out of here, power goes in here, and then goes to my equipment. So I have another camera on the way, and basically it's the same form factor, but it's an upgraded camera with upgraded CCDs. It is a Sony DXC 990 MD, which means it was made for medical use, but same difference. In that case, generally in medical, it would be in a research lab, again on a microscope or on an endoscope, on the end of an endoscope, that kind of thing. But same form factor as this, but it has upgraded CCDs, Sony's X-Wave CCDs. It also has a digital signal processor in it, which allows for better signal to noise and some better color handling and edge enhancement, that kind of thing, to make the video look better. So I'm getting one of those. But I've already got in the other thing that's going to help, and that is this. This is a remote control for that camera. Plugs into the camera through one of these. Yes, it has an Apple symbol on it. It is a 8-pin mini DIN connector, known to those of us who use classic Macs as a Macintosh printer or modem cable. So it plugs into the back of the controller, the remote control, and then into the camera, like that. What that is going to allow me to do is to control all kinds of functions that are on the back of the camera that I can't get at because it's mounted overhead. First, either just let it go over the controls quickly, camera main, camera remote. So either the camera's settings or remote here to override. Print for triggering through RS-232, a Sony Mavigraph printer. Again, it was used for medical imaging and that kind of thing, scientific imaging. So you would hit print and whatever was on your screen then came out as a 3x5 die sub print out of the Mavigraph. Can run the menus for all the settings on the camera. The settings are displayed in a menu on the monitor, which is right in front of me, and only when running composite. The menus are superimposed on the composite output. They are not superimposed on the component output, but that's okay. I just switch inputs on my video switch. Controls here for manual auto iris on the lens, zoom, wide telephoto for the zoom, and focus. Now this does not apply to the current lens that I have. I have right now a Fuji broadcast video lens on the camera right now. It does not have a servo for focus. It does have a servo for zoom. but it is not hooked to the camera in that way at the moment. But it does have a servo zoom. I don't think it'll work. But I do have a lens on the way that has a servo for the zoom and the focus, so I will be able to set those while running the camera, looking down on things, adjust the zoom and the focus without having to stop, as you saw, and reach up and zoom and focus. And the other things here are, of course, your pedestal, which is basically your black level, detail level, sharpness, gain for the gain boost, 0 to 18 dB, 0 to plus 18 dB for low light situations. I shouldn't be messing with that much. But then your gain for your red and blue, which is basically setting up your white balance, that can be adjusted. Again, that should be preset eventually, but it will allow me to do these two controls and then run through everything else to get things set up and change things for different lighting conditions, different stuff that I put on the bench that cause changes. So then, since I have another camera coming, what is going to happen, and I'm going to try to set this up, will be that I will then have two cameras overhead. And so that I can get different angles, and I may not even do the one overhead. I may do it facing me so that I can do a cut in, or I may have it angled down so it is aiming at the front of test equipment, that kind of thing, a little bit better to get that. So you can I can do an insert shot on that while working on other things. Don't know. I'm going to try that. The other upgrade I'm going to try to do is going to be on the recorder. Don't know, because I'm trying to get some stuff. If I'm lucky, I'll get what I want through eBay. If not, I'm going to try to make this work using other equipment. Right now, the video signal that I am recording goes through from the camera to a Sony BVW50 Betacam SP recorder. It's a portable Betacam SP recorder, which sits over next to me with my resistor group on top of it, my resistor box. And it works really good. And I do have a deck that can play those back, those tapes. But it's analog. It does work good, but it is analog. I have several Sony DNW series Betacam SX machines, but they are decks. So I'm going to try and get one of them into the stack of equipment so that I can then just run the video signal to that and be recording to a digital format directly for improved picture quality and such. Like I said, I'm going to try that. I don't know if I have enough room to do that, but we will find out. If, though, everything goes properly, there are currently, I'm looking to get a replacement for the BVW50, which is a Sony digital Betacam portable camera, portable recorder, which then just takes the setup I already have and just swaps it out for an analog deck for a digital deck with very little compression and 20-bit audio. So upgrades all the way around and enhanced picture quality. It's still going to be 4:3, and it's still going to be 480i, but then it always gets deinterlaced and then upsampled to 720p to then be uploaded to YouTube. But that is currently what I have planned for my setup. Wow, This has run 20 minutes. All right, see you later.